Hello, everybody out there, and welcome to this Tuesday's episode of That Crypto Show. My name is Dirk Hartig, and I'm the head of trading education here at primexpt.com. In today's show, we are going to have a look at what caused the crash in cryptocurrencies yesterday, and more importantly, we are going to answer the question: is the crash going to continue? So stay tuned, and I will see you again in around about 30 seconds. Welcome back and thanks for watching. Happy to see you. So, in order to understand what happened there yesterday, we need to look at three things. First of all, the fundamental reason that caused the crash. Second of all, what happened to the Bitcoin price. And third of all, we need to see the connection between the stock markets and the development of the Bitcoin prices. So, let's start really with the fundamental reason. And I've been talking about this for quite a while now. Yesterday, the plot thickened really about the Chinese real estate developer Evergrande. Quick reminder here. So Evergrande, real estate developer in China, has liabilities of 300 billion US dollar, which they cannot pay back or are very likely to not be able to pay back. And this really could cause some ripples over there in China, because a lot of Chinese citizens, and we're talking about millions of people here, are invested either per stock in Evergrande or made a deposit in order to later purchase real estate development from them, an apartment, for example. And those people really have lost a lot of money already if they invested in the stocks, or are on the brink of losing their deposit to purchase real estate. And we're talking about deposits here really that sometimes are saved over generations. And imagine you have saved like over generations, over 2 or 3 generations, you've saved up money to make the down payment to purchase real estate, and this money suddenly then is gone because the company you gave it to goes into default. So really dramatic. A lot of people out there yesterday expected the Chinese government to step in to come out with some kind of a bailout plan. This really didn't happen, and this really caused panic on the market. And in order to understand what happens on markets, if you see panic, you'll just have to look at one chart, and then that really is the S&P 500 chart. So I'm going down here to an intraday, to a 50-minute chart. Really slumped down, slumped down, slumped down. We went all the way down here to almost 4,300 points. Light at the end of the tunnel here was the last trading hour, where we saw really strong buying taking place again. So these are those candles I'm circling right now. And this usually is a pretty good sign that this trend is going to continue the next day. And this is exactly what we saw this morning. So an upwards move again all the way to this 200-day moving average, or 200 times 15 minutes moving average in this case. From there, the market didn't really, have the guts to go much above that. So I say we are right now here a little bit in lingering mood. But remember, at the time of this recording, it's still 20 minutes until the markets over there in the US are really opening. But you see here really, and it's the same picture really in Bitcoin, like in the S&P yesterday. So after we broke again this barrier, which acted as a support at 47,000 US dollar, we went rather quickly all the way down to 44,000. Lingered around there a little bit, were not able to recapture this zone, and then we had this huge sell-off. But parallel to the stock market in the USA, we saw recovery. Right now, we are around about 43,000 US dollars, so also a little bit in lingering mode there. And Bitcoin is really looking for direction at the moment from the stock markets to become brave enough to recapture the zone here of 44,000 US dollars. So, and this is really important, and it's once again an important lesson for every trader out there. In like times where you see like panic in the market. And really, what we saw yesterday in terms of stock market trading, in terms of cryptocurrency trading, was really everybody being in panic mode. And in those times of panic, the S&P 500 or the stock markets in general, I'm just taking the S&P as an example here because it's the most watched index, stock index in the world. So are very strongly correlated. Bitcoin and the stock market very, very strongly correlated. And this, it goes a little bit against what Bitcoin enthusiasts like myself also might be thinking, because Bitcoin is designed as a risk-off asset, but it's not perceived by institutional traders as such. So you will see in those panic modes, and we had another example of this was in the beginning of COVID back then, that Bitcoin really follows the big money there, and the big money was withdrawing money from the markets yesterday. But as I said, light again at the end of the tunnel really was that we saw buying power again, quite significant buying power in the last trading hour in on the American stock market. So let's see. I think the market right now is really waiting for some news there from China. Fundamentally, everything is still in order. Fundamentally, in terms of Bitcoin, I'm talking about the data from the blockchain. So everything is still in order. We still see Bitcoins being withdrawn from cryptocurrency exchanges, putting in cold deep storage. We still see large entities, so-called whales, holding north of 1,000 Bitcoins, using these prices to accumulate more Bitcoin. So nothing out of the ordinary. Also remember, we are in a sentiment of fear right now, and the majority of traders tend to be wrong at those extremes levels. So once we enter the zone here of extreme fear, or on the other hand of extreme greed, these are usually the zones where the market can flip over rather quickly. So honestly speaking, I wouldn't be too surprised if like 2 weeks down the road, nobody's really talking about this China fear, uncertainty, and doubt FUD anymore. In order to really have a risk-off scenario, so really where we see a lot of money and money of institutional traders really uh, going into long-term other positioning than stocks, we would need to see also the US dollar strengthening. And this would mean euro US dollar going down, potentially midterm into this area of 110, maybe even parity. And we would need to see gold going up into the area of 2000, silver maybe also all the way up into this area of 30 US dollar. Now, this is not happening at the moment. So, we have to be a little bit careful not to give into all of those, fear, uncertainty, and doubt that is out there at the moment. So, still, let's still use the brain and stay calm for the moment. Of course, if we see a continuation here from China, and this really all depends on China at the moment. If the government over there really goes the hard way, saying, oh, we are not going to do anything to save this company and to help our citizens with this, well, then we are for sure in for a hard ride on the worldwide financial markets. That would mean strong US dollar, stocks further dropping, and of course, Bitcoin also further dropping. But I mean, let's be quite frank here. And the likelihood, in my opinion, of China really doing this is very small, because they actually would risk something like civil war, in my opinion, if they go down that road. But let's still see. I mean, have that in the back of our head, and let's see how that plays out. What you can do at the moment, if you are a cryptocurrency trader, and I assume you are, otherwise you probably wouldn't watch a show named That Crypto Show, is have an eye out for this level here around 44,000 US dollars. If we manage to go above that again, pierce through this becomes a support again. And should we be able to defend this zone, well, then we are back in this channel I was propagating from the beginning of September between 44 and 47,000. The big picture still hasn't changed. So in my opinion, we might be in for a really nice and pleasant surprise in the beginning of October or throughout October, But let's see first what China does. Here, really all eyes are on China at the moment. You guys stay careful. Remember always to use the stop loss. And I will see you again tomorrow for the next episode of That Crypto Show. Thanks for watching and take care.